support idea, isn't it? So
Yeah, it is. Switch it off quickly and switch it on again. Okay. So let me know if you can see the screen. You should be able to see it.
I think it's just, yeah, it's thinking about it. There you go.
Perfect. Okay, great. So in terms of book covers, this one that we took a look at here, how to be calm under pressure, advance your career using mindfulness. The reason we went with this one was because it was bright, it was colorful, left brain versus right brain. The picture speaks directly to her target audience. And the whole thing is that they sell on the back of this executive well-being products and programs that they run inside the business. Okay. So another one, once again, and this was built around the company. So here's another one built around the company. The title is there. We're talking about technology. We're talking about automation, big business, corporate. So, we've got pictures of people in suits. We've got buildings in the background, connectedness, laptops. Mompreneur, a mom entrepreneur, does what it says on the cover. It looks exactly like what she wants. That's her target market. What she has put on here, who she is her target market.
Yeah.
Then we take a look at this recipe, expand your dough. Now, the interesting thing about this one, how to get your money working hard for you on the stock market. Tell me, who do you think is the target market for this one?
I want to say bakers, but
expand, yeah. Who is the target market? Is it men? Is it women?
Yeah, I think it's probably a female thing more than maybe that's an assumption, but well, I don't know. I'd actually say it appeals to both personally, but.
So, and what do you think the age group of these people would be?
Probably a bit older, because, or maybe again, that's a massive assumption that younger people don't make bread anymore.
Don't think about what I want to hear. I just want to know what are your thoughts? So you think they're a bit older, more towards the female. What else?
I think it's people that like to follow a step-by-step process as well. That's what the recipe is.
And do you think they're employed or business owners?
No, they're probably restaurateurs, or that sort of thing. Maybe they do that sort of thing, or maybe obvious. More obvious than that, it's chefs.
Interesting. So the target market for this one is women over the age of 40 who are employed or who have their own businesses that are looking for extra streams of revenue. Okay, and they want to follow a step-by-step guide. But you can see how it connects. If you look at this, what do you think? And that's the kind of thing that you want to get. You want to get as close to your target market as possible. Okay. Here's one that just literally does what it says on the box. 5 ways to reduce flower waste for the expert florist and the wholesaler, and what you can do right now. Here is the Dream Maker program.
Have you seen the example that Ryan Dice gives?
Which one?
He talks about the importance of a title and understanding your market and all the rest of it. And he gives an example of a book that was, I think when it first, the content hasn't changed, but when it first came out, it had the title Astrological Love, and then a subtitle of whatever it was. And it probably sold about, 100 copies in 2 years or something.
Yep.
And then they came back to it in, 5 years time or something, and they simply changed the cover, changed the title to How to Please Your Woman and Have Her Begging for More.
Yep.
And it sold 1 million copies.
That's exactly it. So I want to show you these over here. This one, okay, now once again, we don't sell these, but these generate ridiculous business. The successful woman in a male-dominated world. How to be an engaged, inspired, and feminine leader.
Yeah.
Can you see how this is going to connect?
Mm.
Right. And Karen is an amazing woman, and she sells high-end programs. I'm talking like she's closed $250,000 deals off the back of this book.
Impressive, yeah.
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 There's another one that I want to show you. Not that. This one over here. So this is a local South African guy, and the title of the book is How I Grew My Business to 20 million in Just 5 Years, Success Secrets of an Everyday Man. Now, the interesting thing is that this guy built his business in construction. So what we did was we had him dress up in a suit, put a hard hat on, and we superimposed him onto a construction background.
Mm.
He teaches other business owners who are in construction how to do the same thing and grow their business.
Mm.
Right? There was another image of him as just in a suit where he looks like a pastor. Okay. Mm. So we took that image, same title, and he uses that one for when he goes to church and he speaks to his business friends at church.
Mm. Yeah.
So you see how you can change it to speak directly to your target audience. And it's not just about the name, it's also about the picture that's on the front.
Yeah.
So those are the differences. And you can speak to, when you're dealing with the person, so whoever you're using to design your book cover, that's what you want to get out of it.
Mm.
You're looking to connect directly with your ideal target market. So when you give them the brief of the cover that you want designed, you need to tell them exactly who your ideal target market is.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're putting a picture of you on there, right, you need to make sure that you set that photo up in such a way that it speaks to your ideal target market.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That just giving me a little bit of a potential idea. I'm not saying it's great, but I'll keep a note of it and maybe think about it.
Perfect. Then when you give them the brief, you need to tell them that there's a couple of ways that they need to do this design. All right. It needs to be an A5 book that can be printed, because this is now going to be your biggest business card that you can ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We've had people literally sign up, and personally in my business, but also clients that we've worked with, they've sent it out to their clients, and the feedback that they've got is that this book blew me away.
Mm.
Okay. So you want to have it as an A5 book that you can print, right? You also want to have it in a structure that you can send as an ebook and be able to publish it on Amazon and Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I can put some of the legals and everything for you that we use on the front cover so that you can self-publish it.
Right.
Right. We'll put that in the members area so you can literally copy and paste that and change the information there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the biggest thing is decide, who do you want to brand? Do you want to brand the company or do you want to brand yourself? If you want to brand the company, make sure that it's exciting and it speaks directly to your ideal target market. If you want to brand yourself, you need to have a nice professional photo that goes on there that is going to speak directly to a target market. So think about how you dress. What are you doing?
Mm.
So that they can actually see exactly what their next steps are.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions on that so far?
No, I think for me, this will be a case of maybe getting two done, as you say. Start with one, but then potentially doing it as two. So one, more of the kind of business sort of thing, and then maybe another one with using myself. I'll be honest, it's always been that branding myself has always felt uncomfortable. If I'm honest. I don't like being center of attention. And so, I'll be honest, the resistance, a lot of it comes from that whole thing. I hate having my photo taken. I hardly use Facebook because I just don't like sort of, shouting about myself and stuff like that, from a personal point of view. So that's always been that sort of thing. So maybe that's where my resistance is coming from there. But it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just part of moving on to the next bit, isn't it? So
it is. And, here's something that I heard this weekend that really resonated with me was get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right? Well, I got used to that over the last year, put it that way.
Brilliant. So, and, another thing that we do is we just split test everything, see what works better.
That's why I'm thinking do both. I've got the marketer in me there.
Absolutely. Whenever we have these discussions of does this headline work? Does that headline work? Should we do this? Should we do that? Like we just say, well, take the emotion out of it, do both of them and split test the damn thing.
Yeah.
See what people.
And that's where I've got to, with most stuff.
Yeah. So, when you're taking the photos, take the emotion out, just put your best foot forward every single time and just think about what goal do I want to achieve by having this and let that goal drive you. Let your why drive you. Okay. And if you want to send some of those book cover ideas over, I'm happy to take a look at it. You can work with some designers. If you want to use my designer, happy to do that. They charge $395 to do a book. So, obviously we've done a lot of these before, so we know exactly what's needed. So if you want to use our guys, let me know. Yeah,
send me the info because I'm happy to. Not just for this, that for potential other things down the line as well. So I'm always out there, look out for good people. So
yeah, sure. So I've got some really good guys. I'll send you some info after this. I'll actually make it available in the portal for you. Okay. So then let's take a look at your editing strategy.
Well, this is the big one.
This is the big one. Okay. So what you're going to do first of all is you're going to find an editor. That's step number one. You don't edit the book yourself. You don't read this book yourself. You don't try fix grammar or punctuation or anything yourself. And that's why I said to you, when we go through this, you're going to just write it down. Right? Everything just gets written down because once it's written down, you then take it to an editor who has some experience in writing these marketing books, okay, who understands marketing, and you give it to them. They need to be able to tell a story, right? And you've got some great stories in yours. So, you want them to ask you questions. The biggest thing is your story needs to come out and it needs to connect with people. You're bringing up problems and you're showing people that there is a solution to it. It's agnostic. And in the case studies, then show them how you fit as the solution to that problem. Right? So you're going to find an editor to do this. You want to explain to them exactly what you want done. So who your ideal target market is, how we break this thing down. So the tone of voice that you want them to use, if you want it to be humorous or stern or knowledgeable. You want to use some stats to show credibility and authority, but those can only come from you, okay? They will find the best places to put them. The same thing with quotes, okay? Quotes are lovely. People love quotes. Right?
I've got them coming out of I actually resisted putting a lot in just at the beginning, but I love them. It's, people far smarter than me have said things before, so stand on the shoulder,
Definitely. And you don't want to start the chapter with a quote. You want to use the quote to drive home whatever point that you're making. Right? So, and the structure is very specific. The chapter explains the problems and shows them that there is a solution. The case study will then show them that you are the person to solve that problem. Right? And if you don't want to go and find an editor, you can hire my editor.
Again, I'm more than happy to, Well, that would just save me time, to be honest. Otherwise, I've got to go and find and maybe get one that's good and maybe not. And then.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll make those available to you as well. You can use Freelancer, Upwork, all of those things. And it is tough. It took me a while to actually find some good editors. So I'm happy to share those resources with you as well.
Brilliant. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay. But we're going to be specific. Here is the structure. Once again, we're going to upload these slides into the drive or into the members area. So you have these to go back to as well. Okay. So now we're going to take a look at, let me just check how we are doing for time.
1:05.
1:05. Perfect. So let's take a look at this because this is going to be the next step. Now, already we've got to finish off the book. We've got to get the chapter titles, sexy up those chapter titles. We've got to edit the book, choose the front cover. There's quite a lot of homework to be done. Okay. So I'm going to give you one other piece to do right now for homework for next week. because this is going to move us to that next level, because we're going to be using LinkedIn, especially for your higher end clients. Using LinkedIn to connect with them and to reach out with them is huge. And the reason I say that is because you can go in and you can specifically target who you want to deal with. If there is a company that you want to work with, you can look for that person in that company and reach out to them personally. Right? If you want to search for businesses that have been running for 5 years, talk to the directors that have got more than, between 10 and 50 employees, and they do more than, I'm not sure what the numbers are like in the UK, but I know for sure in the States, you can even choose what their revenues are.
Yeah, on certain levels, I think, you've got Premium Navigator and stuff like that. So
Sales Navigator is the absolute best thing. Okay, so I made a resource available to you in the drive. So this is going to be part of your homework, and what you're going to need to do is fill in this document. Okay, it is called the LinkedIn Worksheet. And this is going to be used to create your LinkedIn profile. Now, if you're unsure of what the end result is going to look like, go look at my LinkedIn profile. Connect with me on LinkedIn, go take a look at this. We've done this with so many clients and it works every single time. So you're going to have your headline, which is going to be, I help insert your ideal client, achieve whatever you help them achieve to do through, and we insert the methodology. Okay. As an example, I'm marketing strategists. I'm help business owners, CEOs, MDs attract, convert, and keep more of their ideal clients. Right? And please feel free, if you want to use some stuff that's there, absolutely go ahead with it, but make it your own.
Yeah, my current profile is, it's probably more along this than most, because I've spent time on it.
Brilliant. But what you'll find is that in your summary, you're going to change the way that is structured. Most people write their LinkedIn profiles like, I've done this, I've done that. This is my experience, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. The only thing that they care about is, can you help them solve their problems? Right? The other stuff is a bonus. So generally the way that we start off a LinkedIn profile, and I think I might even have put an example here. No, I just said, go look at my LinkedIn profile, is that you start off by asking questions. Right? Now, the beautiful part about this is that in your book, you've come up with the 10 biggest problems that they face. So what are you going to do? You're going to go in there, you're going to take the top 3 problems and say, do you feel like? Have you ever? Has this ever happened to you? You're going to ask 3 questions. Okay, so you're going to come up with 3 questions and you're going to answer, what are the biggest challenges they face? What do they want to achieve in their business or personal life? And what are the major concerns or pain points? Okay. Remember, the most important thing that your LinkedIn profile must answer is, how do you help people? Right? This is your sales page. It's not a summary of what you've done in the past. It's your pitch to your target audience and solving the biggest problems they have and why you're the ideal person to do it.
Yeah, mine is at the moment, it's very little about me. I think I start, rather than bang you over the head with the usual, this is what I've done stuff, I'm going to give you something different and hopefully more beneficial. I'm going to show you my personal marketing mantra. When most people do marketing, they think like themselves. When I do marketing, I think like a customer. Absolutely. Why should you take this as seriously as I do? Simple, it contains a fundamental principle so much marketing ignores, which is why it doesn't work. The sooner you start thinking like your customer, the sooner you'll get what you want from your marketing. That's because people buy what's best for them. They do not buy what's best for your business. They don't care about you. Hard to swallow? Sure. But you must embrace this reality rather than fight it if you want to improve your marketing results. Blah, 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 blah.
Nice.
So it's, I think now that I've written a bit more of that book, it's something that I can change and be more specific. So
refine. We're going to refine it. And that's what this does. It's exactly what this does. So I've made this document available to you. So take this document, fill it out step by step. It's really simple and straightforward. I've given you examples there as well. Go take a look at my LinkedIn profile and you'll see an example of how this is brought to life. If you want a couple of others to take a look at, I'm happy to share that with you. Also take notes of people who are influencers, see what they're in there. because there's a strategy that we're going to tackle a little bit later, which is going to show you how to use this LinkedIn profile to start connecting with your ideal target market and actually start driving some sales.
I actually ran a strategy for a client.
Yep.
And ran it. So one of my case studies is actually generating £70,000 worth of new business via LinkedIn.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I'd love to take a look at that, and we can share strategies. And I'm sure between the two of us, if we can help boost one little thing and it
absolutely
exponential results, that's what we're after.
Yeah, I'm already thinking. What can I sort of learn from what you've got to add to it? It's not something I offer as part of what I do now, because it's it's harder than Facebook, if I'm honest, to sort of scale it, because you need someone's individual profile and all the rest of it. But
there's a process for it.
There is a process.
Yep, we use it a lot, and we do it with a lot of our clients. So, let's share some of that offline, and we'll set up a separate conversation to talk about what's working, what's not working. That could be quite fun.
Sorry, I'm distracting you from the...
No stress. It's all good stuff, because, it's taking a look at something on a different level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just that means you use like a group strategy in terms of sort of building your own group, becoming the author or the publisher of that group.
That's one way that you can do it. I prefer to connect with people directly.
Yeah, so we did that and used the group as the reason for connection.
Exactly. Well, now you're going to use your book as the reason for connection.
Yeah, because I don't really want to manage a group just yet. It's too much effort. or just too much.
Exactly why I don't manage a group. I don't even manage a Facebook group. Okay. No. So the way that I do that is I connect with people and then say, hey, we've got a lot in common. I take a look at their profile and then offer to send them a copy of the book. And then to go through some of what you talk about in the book to get them on a strategy session. Right?
Very powerful.
Very powerful. Very powerful. We've generated a lot of business from that. Okay. Market research, there's so much that we've gone through already, and there's already a lot of homework. So I'm going to skip the market research for today. Okay. We'll tackle this on another one. So your homework is going to be to complete the chapters and send it to an editor. I'll make the details available to you in the partner portal. Right? Find a designer and get your book cover designed. Same thing. I'll make that resource available to you. Complete the LinkedIn profile sheet. Okay.
Yeah.
Go and take a look at my one. Go and take a look at other influencers that you really like, and model it around that. Obviously, you're going to put your own. What you're looking for is the structure, not the wording. Okay. If you take a look at mine, that's the structure that I've used. It's the structure that I use for a lot of my clients, and it's the structure that we've just seen work time and time again.
Have you ever used your profile as a launch for like a funnel or something like that?
Yeah, I invite people to webinars all the time.
And what I mean by that is, again, maybe you know what this is, but when you go into sort of you can update experience and roles and all the rest of it and projects. And if you turn off your notifications and you add in that you've just authored a new book, and then say if you want to get a copy of it, go to this page. If you then turn on notifications and hit publish, that will send it to everyone on in your network.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I do that.
That's my favorite tip. So
I know. And I do that as well when I have new video testimonials. I upload the video testimonials into it and I hit publish, and then it goes out to the entire network. So think about how powerful that is.
Most people don't know it exists. So it's nice to know that there's a fellow marketer that knows my tips.
I know, it's very exciting, isn't it?
It's amazing what people don't know, and we forget because we live it. So exactly,
that's the biggest thing with this process, and with anybody, not just in terms of marketers, but with anybody, is that they undervalue the knowledge and experience that they've got because they live it every single day. It doesn't matter if you're selling ball bearings or if you're selling, axles and diffs, internet marketing, health pills. It doesn't matter. Like, you always take for granted how much knowledge and experience that you've gained, and you think, well, everyone knows this.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that they don't. There's, if you have to put out of 10 people, 9.999 people won't have the level of knowledge that you've got.
Yeah, my problem is actually, I think I've got the problem at the moment of too much, and that's not meant to sound sort of. It's like I kind of know. Yeah, it's actually just sort of squeezing it down into a very specific, because I want to sort of blurt everything out, which is never good. So yeah, that's a little knowledge is good, but too much is actually not.
Yeah, then you've got to sift through it. It's simplification is the most difficult thing that you can do.
Yes. It's quite interesting you use the example of ball bearings, because my dad ran a bearing company for 30 years and he sold it at the beginning of the year.
Oh, wow.
He's retired. So funny that. But
yeah. Simplification. It is the most difficult thing. And, especially in IT, in the IT space, I mean, I'm using that term very broadly, but there's so many acronyms and there's so many different things and jargon, and actually in any industry, everyone's got their own jargon that they speak, industry jargon. And when you're talking to clients or when you're talking to people who are not in the industry, you almost just expect that they understand what you're talking about. For us, it's like marketing automation. If you talk to somebody who runs a traditional business that is just starting to go online and you tell them marketing automation, then I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not going to mean anything to them, and they just won't connect with you.
Well, that's how the whole phishing thing came about.
Okay.
Because I was trying to explain it to someone. It was somebody I was met at an event and was talking, and I could just see the eyes glazing over.
Yep.
And I was like, right, okay. So I sort of stopped and said, sort of moved away from the subject and all the rest of it, and sort of asked him a question. What do you do for fun? And he said fishing. I love fishing. I was like, okay, right, okay. Well, let me try and explain marketing, but like it's fishing, and that's where it came from.
I love it.
I don't fish. I think I've been maybe 4 or 5 times in my life.
Yep.
But I know enough about it to be able to kind of make a comparison.
Yeah, but you don't need to know the specifics. You need to be able to just explain it in a way that connects to them. It's just that's simple. Simplification is the most difficult thing you can do. And, even myself, I mean, we're simplifying and refining our message on a daily basis, because it's that same thing. It's taking that jargon and putting it into a language that everyone can understand. We've got a rule is that, if you explain something or if you write something, you need to be able to explain it to a 5-year-old and he can understand it.
Or Homer Simpson, I think is the other one.
Or Homer Simpson. Well, you just give him a beer and it doesn't matter. You can get anything out of it. A pack of Duffs.
Yeah.
So just to get back onto this quickly. So homework, setting up your LinkedIn profile. We're going to skip number 4. Oops.
Yeah.
And we're going to finish up your case studies.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you coming along with those case studies?
Again, I've got them in various bits and pieces from things I've got, but it's writing them up in a decent, clear format.
Okay, perfect. And I wanted to ask you as well, is that are you happy if I use that example that you gave me a little bit earlier, that going through this process helped in moving the clients across the line because your message was more refined?
Absolutely. Anything that you think you can use from what I say is yours to keep. Thank you. It's just it's why I've sort of joined this, and I'll learn from you, and hopefully maybe you'll learn a couple of things, but
definitely. Well, one of the best ways to learn is to teach.
Brilliant. Go for it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The best way to learn is to teach.
Exactly.
Awesome stuff. So I'm going to upload all of this into the membership area. I'll make those details of my editor available, as well as the designer available to you. And schedule calls, get you in touch with them, and start that process as well if that's the way that you want to go.
That'd be awesome.
All right, and all those books that I showed you, that's the work that we've done.
They're really good, and I think just sort of really going through this and thinking, I think I'm over. Again, you talk about simplification. I'm overcomplicating it. The book title is Think Like a Fish. Done.
I love it.
Because it kind of that curiosity base. The subtitle will do the rest of the work, and simply by, because that's how I am. If I go to an event or meet someone, I don't say what I do. I don't say I run marketing and da-da-da-da-da. They say, well, so what do you do? And I just say, I think like a fish.
I love that.
And they look at me really strange, and they go, do you just what sort of thing? And then I go on to explain. I said, look, I help businesses effectively, connect better with their customers using online marketing.
I love that. I love that. And maybe that's even the title of your book: How to Connect Better with Your Customers and Drive More Revenues by Using Online Marketing.
That's what I mean. It's all there.
It's all there.
Yeah,
it's all there. If you could put some numbers in there as well, that'll be even better.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to come out of this, Adam. I really am.
Yeah. No, I've really enjoyed the process so far. It's been really good.
Amazing. Well, next week we want to start doing start getting some hype going out there about this new book that's coming out, and start connecting with some people. Get your copy of the book before it comes out, that sort of thing. And if you want to print it, there's another strategy that we can use, which I'm sure you've seen before, which is get the book for free and just pay shipping and handling. That's another strategy that can be used. It just depends if you want to print out copies. Physical copy is always amazing. It is the best business card you will ever have.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Do you know what? It was this bit that took me over the edge with it, because I've probably written 3 books. I've probably got enough content for 6.
Yep. Me too.
But I just haven't sort of sat and structured them, and I then sort of start one, and then when I say 3, I've probably got 3/4 finished. I've got one on copywriting, for example, one about the psychology of the buyer, and blah, blah, blah. It's all there.
Brilliant.
It's that sort of final thing. I think maybe that's, what I was saying about that whole sort of center of attention sort of thing. It's like you get to the point, it's like, well, maybe no one will like it.
You're limiting yourself.
Yeah, so you've already got that excuse. Well, nobody didn't like it because nobody read it, and that's safer.
Well, here's the best part about this process is that you are going to get this done. That's not an option.
Well, that's exactly why, as I say, it tipped me over the edge. It's like,
Great. So here's one thing that I've noticed as well is that, by having a physical book and actually putting it out there and selling that book, you have a buyer. It doesn't matter if they've bought $1 or, $100,000, you have a buyer. You have someone that's interested. The fact that they're willing to take out their money and give that to you in exchange for your book means that they are interested in what you have to sell. Maybe not right now, maybe 6 months or 12 months down the line, but I guarantee you they're buying your book, they're going to buy something else from you. That's the fun part.
And there's a funnel for that.
There is absolutely a funnel for that. There's always a funnel for that.
Have you watched any of like Russell Brunson's book launches?
Yep.
Yeah. Smart.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, book for free, shipping and handling, Russell Brunson, Frank Kern, there's been a couple of them, and I've bought them so I can see what the funnel looks like.
Yeah, because as well as the Infusionsoft, I don't shout about it too much because they don't all get on, but I did the certification for ClickFunnels as well.
Oh, brilliant. How's that been for you?
It's been good. I actually get more inquiries via the ClickFunnels marketplace than Infusionsoft.
ClickFunnels is good. I must say, I've also joined it, and I'm using ClickFunnels. I haven't done the certification yet, but it just makes life so much easier.
Oh, it's brilliant. Very, very simple. It's not perfect, but then nothing ever is.
There's a lot of kinks. There's a lot of things that don't work properly, but in the fact that it's a cult. It's a proper cult.
Oh, he's very, very smart. I met him in London and I challenged him to a wrestle. That was fun.
He is very, very clever on that. I mean, his followers are, I mean, they would like die for ClickFunnels. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they wear those shirts, Confusionsoft and all the rest. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
like we use both of them together and it's such a powerful tool to use together.
Absolutely. That's why I'd never recommend to anyone that they did everything in ClickFunnels, because the action ethics and, automation behind it is not quite as robust.
No, it's not.
Not quite there. So I always sort of, it's Infusionsoft if you want, or Active Campaign are the two that I would always sort of say go with.
Yeah, me too. We've just decided that it's not like, I mean, I know we're straying off topic, but we're done with the webinar anyway, so I'll cut this last part out. But I mean, we do the same thing. We take a look at what's best for their business, and we use the tools that are best for their business.
Yeah.
So I like to
hear that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I never punt Infusionsoft. I mean, if Infusionsoft is a good fit for them, then we use it. If it's not, we don't. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, let's keep in touch. It's like I've got a bit of a crazy week this week and next week, but I'd love to have a chat with you and just let's just talk a little bit around LinkedIn and what you're doing, and I'll show you what we're doing as well. And if we can learn one more thing from each other, then that's exciting.
Absolutely. And it's LinkedIn's a new beast in its own, and it's changing since Microsoft bought it, and they are massively pushing to